Hi, beautiful people. My name is Geraldine Naomi Diaz, and I'm the author of Reroute Postgrad Guide to Success, Physically, Mentally, and Financially. In this video, I'll be discussing my author journey. I've been getting a lot of questions, which I was not expecting. So I was like, okay, it's time to do a little author series video. And in case you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my notes. So for starters, I published my book December 2020, so in the midst of chaos when COVID was first making its appearances. And it was a difficult journey. I was having my first big girl job out of college. I had done tons of freelancing beforehand, and I graduated in 2019. So I felt especially a lot of imposter syndrome writing a book about post grad life when I was a recent grad myself. But I realized, and I hope you realize this whenever you decide to write your book, if you decide to write one, that it's okay to be early on in your journey. And I'm somebody that likes to take people on the process as opposed to like getting to my end destination and then being like, oh, here's what I did to find success, because it may not be relevant then. What was relevant 10 years ago may not be relevant now. So for me, I was like, let me take the journey, the process, and put it into the book and show people what I did to find success. So that's basically how Reroute was born. I went to a lot of different networking events when I graduated. I went to a lot of different places, speaking to people, finding out what my interests were, and then did tons of research that was put into the book so I knew to validate myself and to validate others so they didn't just think like, who's this recent grad trying to tell me what to do when she doesn't even know what to do with her life? When it comes to imposter syndrome, you really need to ask yourself, who are you an imposter to? Point blank period. Because a lot of times we feel imposter syndrome and it's like, who are we an imposter to? Where did this star even come from? So please ask yourself that, because you are not an imposter, and I'm here to tell you that I felt tons of imposter syndrome when I first wrote my book, because I was a fresh grad writing about how to be a new grad. Like, it just didn't make sense, right? But for me, I was just like, I felt very compelled to write this book because of the experiences that I have been through, and also taking a very different journey than a lot of people take after graduating from college. Next point, traditional publishing versus hybrid publishing. Do yourself the favor and take a either hybrid or self-publishing route. Traditional publishing, most times they keep the rights to your book. Most times they keep the majority of the money that you make from your book. So just save yourself the hassle. Don't take the traditional publishing route. I took hybrid publishing route, so I had support the whole entire way. But when it came to like my rights to my book, I own that. I own all the royalties that come in from my book. I don't have to pay anybody because I already paid people what I needed to pay them. Also, do not be afraid to ask for help. Throughout this whole entire journey, I can't even speak. From start to finish, I asked for help throughout the whole entire journey. I asked for support when it came to finances, because I needed to find the finances one way or another. And I didn't have them. So for me, I felt a little bit weird asking people for money, but I was just like, you know what? I'm not scamming them. I'm doing it for something good. Like, I'm providing real value back to the community. So do not be afraid to ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask people for their coins, because if they're willing to support you, they will support you. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be monetary. I had a lot of people write me throughout the process, like, you go, like, motivational messages, and that really went a long way, because there was days that I was like, this book is not gonna get done. It is not getting done. And it got done because people were supporting me, and I had to really hone in on my value and the reason why I got this idea in the first place. I didn't want people to go through what I went through after graduating from college. Next, market yourself as early as possible. Start creating consistent content. I know you will hear this a lot, but create consistent content. Provide value for people, a lot of free value, because when you provide a lot of free value, people will be willing to invest in you. People will be willing to pay whatever amount of money you are charging, whether it be for your book, and then you want to open up a coaching business, you want to establish a course. People are going to pay it for you if you provide value. And I learned that after publishing my book. So I wish that I would have, that's the one regret that I have, is definitely not marketing my book soon enough. So market your book as early as possible. Also, if you do want to take the self-publishing route, do yourself the favor and get yourself key people in your journey. So these are people like a layout editor, so the layout of your book does not look crazy. Get yourself a cover designer because you're not about to be on Canva, though you can be creating your book cover. As somebody professionally outsourced, there's places like Upwork, Fiverr that will create this for you. This is only if you want to take the self-publishing route and not like a hybrid publishing route like the one that I took. Also, um, what else? I'm looking down at my notes, y'all. This is like my first ever YouTube video. I'm like funky with these things. And yeah, just get your editors right. Get different editors for different things. Make sure that the copyright is good to your book because you do not want to be getting sued for anything. There's no coins in the bank to be getting sued. So yeah, but that was a little bit about my author journey. If there's anything that you want to find out more about, please comment, let me know, and I'll be happy to make a video about it. Thank you so much for listening to me, and bye.